Okay, so example number 5, solving systems by elimination using multiplication. So what you need to do is that you need to identify if you want to get rid of the x or the y. It does not matter which one. In this case, I'm going to get rid of the x's. So I have to think of a number, of a coefficient that I want both x's to share. And I'm going to pick 10 because 10 is the least common multiple for 2 and 5. So what I'm going to do in order to get my 5x to 10, I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 2. So that's going to get me to 10x minus 6y equals 12. Now, in order to eliminate the x's, I need my coefficient to be a 10. So the bottom row, I'm going to have to multiply that 2 by a 5 to get that to be a 10x. So that means I'm going to multiply every term in that bottom equation by 5. Okay, so that was basically step 1 on my notes. So after I get a common coefficient, I have to determine if I need to add or subtract the equations in order to eliminate the x's. In this case, I'm going to have to subtract. So the x's eliminate, then I'm going to take negative 6y minus 25. So negative 6y minus 25 is going to get me to negative 31y. And then I'm going to have 12 minus negative 50, which looks like this. 12 minus negative 50. Remember, 2 negatives touching ends up being a positive. So that's basically 12 plus 50, which is going to get me to 62. And then from here, I just solve. So to get the y by itself, I divide each side by negative 31. Y is going to equal negative 2. So now that I have the value of y, I need to determine what my x equals. So I'm going to substitute for y. It does not matter which equation that you substitute for. I'm just going to use the top one to make it easier on myself. So I have 5x minus 3y. Oh, there's that y, so I'm going to substitute a negative 2 in there. Equals 6. Okay, now I solve for x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is going to equal a positive 6. To get the x by itself, I subtract 6 from both sides. Six minus 6 is 0. I'm going to divide each side by 5. X is going to equal 0. So when I go to write my answer, my ordered pair, my x value is 0, and my y value is negative 2. Okay, let's take a look at example number 6. So example number 6, I look, my terms are lined up, my variables that are the same, my like terms are lined up, so my a's are in a line, my b's are in a line. I now have to determine if I want to get rid of my a's or if I want to eliminate my b's. Because my b's, I'd be working with smaller numbers, I'm going to get rid of those. However, if you choose to get rid of your a's, you could. It does not matter which ones you decide to eliminate. You just have to make sure that you're able to multiply to where you get the coefficients to be the same. So as I said, I'm going to get rid of the b's. So I know that 2 and 3, the least common multiple that they share, if I skip count by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or I skip count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, the number that they share is 6. So I'm going to change their coefficient to 6. So 2 times 3 will get me to 6. So I'm going to multiply my terms by 3 for the top row. For the bottom row, in order to get my 3b to a 6, I'm going to have to multiply it by 2. So go back to my top. I'm going to multiply each term by that 3. And I'm going to end up getting 18a plus 6b equals 6. My bottom row, I'm going to end up getting 8a plus 6b equals 16. From here, I've already decided I'm going to eliminate the b's. So I have to determine if I'm going to add or subtract these equations in order to eliminate it. Now that's step 2 from your notes. So if I have positive 6b plus 6b, if I add those, it's going to be 12. So I'm going to have to subtract in order to eliminate. So the operation I'm going to use is subtraction. So here I have 18a minus 8a. That's going to get me 10a. Then I have positive 6b minus 6b, which eliminates. And then I have 6 minus 16, which is going to get me to negative 10. And from here, I just have a one-step equation that I need to solve. In order to get the a by itself, I divide each side by 10. So then I'm left with negative 10 divided by 10, which is going to get me to be negative 1. Okay, now that I know the value of a, I need to determine what the value of b is going to be. Again, when you go to substitute, excuse me, it does not matter if you substitute the first equation or the second equation. This time for fun, I'm going to substitute with the second equation. So I'm going to have 4, there's my a, substitute 1, so plus 3b equals 8. Okay, draw your line of equality. Now we're solving for b. 4 times 1 is 4, so you have 4 plus 3b equals 8. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. You now have 3b equals 4. Left. Oh, hold on.